Hello, Earth Angels. Welcome to the Wild Earth Child. Today we are doing a reading on messages from your higher self. We have 3 piles as usual. Today we have pile 1. The read out loud manifestation card is I trust that my faith in the universe will give me with all that I need in life. For pile 2, I am grateful my dreams are becoming my reality. And for pile 3, I put good energy out into the world knowing I will receive good things in return. So I've already pre-pulled every pile here. So when you get to your pile, it's all going to be laid out already and ready to go. And then I will be pulling some yes or no questions that you can ask. And yeah, timestamps in the description, and let's go. Okay, pile 1, this is going to be your reading. So we're gonna try to fit these all in here. So we have Lala, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I'm the author of my own story. We have strength, power, and endurance. We have you are good enough, Moon and Virgo. Then we have, I'll figure out what I'll do in a second with that. We have the High Priestess reversed, the 2 of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles reversed. And I will be pulling more tarot if need be. But, okay, so this is going to be your message here from your higher self. Okay, so I do think that I am getting this energy of holding yourself back. I don't know if that's I'm getting the vibe of from your goals, from certain dreams you have. There's like a bit of a self-sabotagey energy here. I feel like there's a need to tap into your intuition. You could be a little bit almost even impulsive lately. And there's like a need to have not necessarily everything, but things thought out before acting on them. Plans made as far as I'm really getting career, but this could go for a lot of things here. It feels like there's a need for more of, I think there's a need to think ahead more. I also feel like there's I keep hearing persevere, so I feel like there's a need to sort of gain a little bit more grit right now. Become a little bit more of a force. I feel like there's just like a lot of it just feels kind of passive, the energy. It feels, again, self-sabotagey, like you're holding yourself back from something, from things that you desire, from things that are good for you. It feels like there's some sort of subconscious, I guess, messaging that's instilled in you that might need to be, addressed. Strength, power, endurance too. I feel like these cards really do align. Like the whole message seems very they all relate. They're all like the same I guess topic here of just like there's a need to, I just feel like there's a need to go after things, to not let other people or other experiences or other situations sort of lead your life for you. It just feels like you're a passenger in your own life right now. And I feel like there's they're like, your higher self is like screaming like, you need to take action here. You need to start taking control of your own life, of your own self. Yeah, like, even because every word I say becomes prayer. I am the author of my own story. It feels like you need to become that. Like, it just feels like, and that doesn't necessarily mean you haven't done it before, you haven't been capable of it, but it feels like right now you're not in that space, and your higher self is really trying to push you that way. Like, you gotta start doing what you say you want to do, or what you are desiring, like these things that you want to manifest. There's a reason you want to manifest these things, but there's also a need for balance, as far as not just desiring and wishing for these things, but to actually go after them, even if it's risky, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable, even if it's a little new, even if you don't feel like you know what you're doing, even if you have to, navigate as you go. That's kind of like how life works anyway. So, like, we don't ever really know how things are going to end up. We kind of just have to go on a certain path and trust ourselves so much and follow that. And I feel like there's a need for that trust in yourself, and that trust in that, like, just because you don't necessarily know where you're going to end up, or what direction you're necessarily going to go in, doesn't mean you can't start where you do know, if that makes sense. Like, let me think of an example. Like say you want to become a YouTuber, right? Since we're on YouTube, why not? And you have these like video ideas, and you have these this like idea for your aesthetic, or that kind of thing, or like even just like, you want, even if it's just like, I know I want to make YouTube videos. Well, what aligns with like what's authentic to you, what aligns with what you want to portray? It also could be very helpful, side note, to find out what your midheaven is in your birth chart, because your midheaven is your image. When it comes to career, it's like your public image. Even if it's not necessarily who you are, it's the image that will attract people to you. So mine is Sagittarius, and this whole channel is literally Wild Earth Child. Sagittarius is very about freedom, and literally the wild child, the wild feminine aesthetic is literally Sagittarius energy. Nature, Earth Child, and like the naturey, earthy tone colors, and like that kind of thing. So I feel like maybe for some of you that there's a reason that's coming up. There might be a need to look into what your midheaven is. And then, look up what that means. Like, if you're a Taurus midheaven, I feel like earthy tones would still be the vibe for that. And like, I don't know, maybe like a business around food or cooking, or like kitchen appliances or something, or home decor, whatever. But everybody has midheaven, and I think I really would encourage you, if you don't know what that is already, to look into that, and what yours is, and how you can incorporate that into what you want to do here. So yeah, let me see. Let me pull a little bit more tarot here. Let's see what else we could get. Whoa, that's a lot of cards. Hold on. Page of Wands, yes. Time to get creative, take action, be re-inspired, get excited. King of Pentacles. So whatever it is, so this, I feel like for this pile, this is definitely a pile where like you have an idea. And there's a need to just start it. Just start it, because there will be a payoff here if you're persistent. The thing is, though, I think that I need to like really make clear here is that progress doesn't happen like this. It happens like this. You know? So I feel like also the need for this specific energy here to tell you like you can't get discouraged so easily either. Like, you know, if something doesn't work out, change your method, change the tone of what you're doing, change maybe your knowledge of what you're doing. It feels like there's definitely a need to like really push yourself right now and to just do the thing. Just do it. Make it exist, and you can always make it better as you go. Make it better later on. And even if it's a song, you know, you're creating a song and you're like, I like it, but there's something missing. That can be worked on, but just start it. Just do it. Because it looks like a big payoff here that could really create a lot of stability for you. So, okay, I'm going to do the yes or no question. So ask whatever question you have in your mind. And I'm going to pull the card. You can ask it about anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be about this. Let's see, though. So what is the answer to pile 1's question? Go, the time is right. Are you kidding? That's literally what I've said this whole time. Oh my god. I love when that happens. I love when everything aligns. Okay, go, the time is right. Okay, like I just said, let's go. Let's get moving. Do the ting. Do the ting. Okay? Alright, pile 1. I'm gonna end it there. Keep it, you know, real cute, real to the point. And I will see you guys in a couple days. Alright, bye. Okay, pile 2, if this is the card you chose, this is gonna be your reading. I'm gonna just lay out everything we got here. So, Dakini, the enlightened feminine. My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. Surrender, letting go, releasing. And then step out of your comfort zone. So there could be a need to let go of something that you're used to. It could be a mindset, it could be a person. 3 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and 4 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. I feel like, okay, what your higher self wants to say is that there's a need to sort of let go of control here. To let go of like, I just keep getting this image of like holding on to a rope way too tightly. There's a need to release control for sure here. And releasing the need to know like how something's gonna play out, or releasing the need to know everything before pursuing it. Some things you have to be able to risk, you know. That's kind of life. Like, we can't really know everything all the time, how things are gonna play out or how things are gonna end up. All we can do is follow, you know, what feels right to us. You know, try to be our best, try to be our most self-aware, are most respectful to people who respect us, right? And you know, carry on with self-respect with people that respect us and don't respect us. Okay. But it feels like with this group, I feel like there's like, it looks like there's something there's like a void. I don't know why I'm hearing that. It's like searching for something. I do feel like there's a need to tap into your heart more than your head at this time also. Like, I feel like there's a need to make decisions from your heart more often. Not completely go based on logic. And that might sound a little insane for some of you, but there's definitely a need for a great balance in that way. I feel like there's like a need for trust too. I mean, literally it says it, but there's a need to not only trust yourself, but to trust that, like, you're being guided in the right way. If you have a certain desire, there's a reason for that. If you have a certain instinct about somebody, there's a reason for that. Even if it doesn't seem to make sense, not even to everybody else, but to you, even if it doesn't really have a logical, sensical reason or answer for it, there's a need to sort of take leaps of faith in your life right now with certain things. Like, if that means letting go of a person, or if that means surrendering to the outcome with a person or with a situation or of a situation. I feel like there's a need to let go of expectations and a need to let go of end result like answers. Because, no one can really answer that. Even your higher self, they can't answer that, because there's a lot of, choices that we make in the moment that, take us a certain way where, like, and that's not necessarily good or bad. It could be, but, like, if we ever stop to think about, like, sometimes certain choices we make, like, could have been a very different choice, and, like, where would we have been? And that's always something to think about sometimes, because some things are very much in our control, and we can focus on those things, and, like, what we have to accept as, being alive is that nothing is set in stone. There's certain karmic contracts we might have, or soul connections we might have that we're destined to, come across or whatever. But that's not even always written out in the exact way things are going to play out. Because things occur, that we don't have control of. And there's a need to sort of accept that here, I feel like, and to, like, I just feel like there's a need to accept what you don't know and go after it anyway, if that makes sense. Or let go of it anyway, whatever way this is going to resonate for you. Yeah, I feel like that's like a big thing here, is like, like, accept what you can't control, and accept, like, it's literally the serenity prayer. Like, I accept things I can't control, accept the things I can't change. I'm not saying it in the exact way. I can't really recall, but, and then the wisdom to know the difference. So there is this need to just sort of not hold yourself back because of fear. Not to react from a fear-based place, because that's very ego, and, our ego is very necessary, our ego literally helps us survive, but there's a need to not depend on it when we have a certain like calling to something. Because the soul will always trump the ego. That's just the truth. And I think that in this group, there's a need to sort of accept that and accept that you don't know everything, and you're not going to. You're not going to get the answers to everything, even things that have already happened, you know? Sometimes things that happen to us, we don't really ever get an answer or closure for, and we kind of have to make meaning of it ourselves. And we have to, like, let go of, again, like I keep getting, let go of expectations, let go of control, let go of expectations of others, let go of expectations of a situation, let go of expectations of yourself. You know, I mean, there's it's definitely, depending on what it is, there's definitely a need to have certain expectations of ourselves and certain boundaries for ourselves, because what I know that boundaries is like a big thing people talk about now, but the thing about that is that boundaries are really for ourselves. We can set boundaries with other people by setting them with ourselves. Like, you can't control other people. You can control you control what you allow, and that's a boundary. Not allowing certain things, not responding to certain things, not reacting to certain things. That is a boundary, but that has to start with you. You can't set boundaries on other people, because that only goes so far. It has to be set on you, because then when you have those boundaries for yourself, you naturally have boundaries for other people, and you don't let certain lines get crossed. And when they do, that's it. You walk away. You're not going to deal with the disrespect. So I feel like there's a big need for balance in this group. When it comes to, I just keep hearing expectations. Like, that's a big word for this group. My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. I just feel like that's, like, all these cards really align here. I love that. I love that that's what's happening. It happened with group 1 too. Like, the message is very clear here, and that's just literally surrender. Surrender is the overall message. Step out of your comfort zone. You know, some things are not comfortable to us. Letting go of control might not be comfortable to us, but there's no reason to obsess over trying to control something that you can't even control. So you're just like pouring energy that could be very useful and very precious into something that literally is going to play out however the hell it plays out anyway, you know? So it just feels like there's a need to sort of take a second, breathe, understand what you can control and what you can't control, and accept both of those things. Focus on what you can control. Don't obsess over that, but maintain those boundaries with ourselves. Not drive ourselves crazy. That doesn't get us anywhere. Sort of just like, there's a need to like just, you know, go with the flow a little bit here. Kind of like let things just kind of happen. Let things go. And that, for some of you, that might be very hard to hear. That might be very hard to do. And it is absolutely easier said than done. But there's at least a need to put the effort into getting there, you know? I think I said this to the last pile. Progress is not like this. It doesn't just go up and like, oh, look at us, we're just thriving. It's like this. You know, it doesn't, there's nothing fluid about it. There's nothing linear about it. Well, not fluid. It's actually very fluid, because you have to kind of go with it. You know, like a paper airplane, the way it like flies, it doesn't just, you know, sometimes it goes like this, and sometimes it goes like this. You know? So there's a need to sort of just let go of the rope a little bit, okay? let go of that tight grip. We don't need it. Like, you know, maybe keep like this on it, you know, the thumb and the finger, you know, at least for a start. You know, there's a need to sort of, you know, not put so much pressure on ourselves, not put so much pressure on things, and sort of, you know, just kind of do what you're called to do. That's the thing here. Do what you're called to do, even if there's no real, like, you're not really getting an answer to why. You're not really understanding what it means or where you're meant to go with it. Sort of just follow the path, you know, follow the path that you are already feeling guided to, and, you know, take things as they come up. You gotta kind of roll with the punches a little bit with this group. Kind of like gotta just be willing to just sort of face the things head on, because, you know, life is gonna life, man. It will. But there's a lot of great things that occur in life, and a lot of great things that do come out of challenges, believe it or not. And we don't want to accept it, and we don't like it, and we're always like, universe, give me a break, I've had enough. But that's you know, we can't do anything about that. That is what it is. So yeah, just sort of, you know, release it a little bit, let it go, just chill out a little bit, follow the heart more than the mind right now. That's definitely a big message here. Okay, so I'm gonna do a yes or no question you can ask, and then you have a second to ask it, and then it could be relating to whatever you want, and we'll see what the answer is here. All right, so I got 2 cards. So it's choose a new direction and reconsider. Can you guys see that? Okay. All right, so, oh my God, and then on the back of the deck was let go. What did I say? What did I say? And then there's letting go, literally here, surrender. Okay, pile 2, that's your reading, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. All right, pile 3, if you chose this card, this is gonna be your reading. All right, so we have Queen Esther. The morning star, my ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Peace, tranquility, acceptance, and show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Then we have quite the pole here. The Devil, the Lovers, and 9 of Cups. So, okay, so I feel like with this group, there's a need to figure out what you really want. I'm getting, I mean, I feel like there's a need to figure out, because I feel like this group could be prone to sort of impulsive decisions, I want to say. Things that sort of fulfill us, seemingly fulfill us in a moment, and then don't really do us any favors in the long run. So that could be, you know, the people we deal with in romance. That could be the decisions we make financially. That could be the decisions we make in our workplace, or the type of work we choose to do, even though we don't really like it. It just feels like there's a need to choose things that serve you in the long run, and avoid making impulsive decisions because they're exciting in the moment. What is like your true desire, your true dream in life, your true dream come true, your wishes granted? If you could wish on a star, what would it really be that you want? And are you following that? Are you honoring that? Or are you getting caught up in excitement and momentary things that seem bright and shiny, but all that glitters isn't gold? And I think there is a need to honor your peace right now, your tranquility, have acceptance for what it is you really want. And if it is the chaos and the excitement that you really want, there's a need to be very clear with ourselves about that, because this group feels very torn between like what direction they're going in here, and like the things they choose. Do you want something unstable but exciting and possibly even like sexual for some of you? Or do you want the fulfilling? Look at her. She look rich as hell. She looks like she is thriving. She got all them cups behind her. She's not even concerned or worried about it. She's like, I got enough cups behind me. They're big. And they literally look like trophies too. That's what's funny. I think they are. Look at her sitting with her trophies. She's like, hell yeah. I done did it. I have pursued what I wanted. It was, I played the long game, and look at where I'm at. And it feels like there's a need to make this choice here on what direction do you want to go in. Do you want to go round and round in circles within the pits of hell? Even if it seems enticing at times? Or do you want to sit pretty with your money stacked, your skin is glowing, your body's on T, girl? What do we want to do here? What choice do we want to make? What path do we want to go? Because I feel like what your higher self is saying is that you're meant to do big things. You're meant to go great places and be in a very stable place in life. Be happy. Be just not stressed, drama-free. And you are sort of delaying it by going after these things that are like mentally stimulating but ultimately damaging. And this could even be with love situation, just because the Lovers is here and stuff, but because I am getting that for some of you, like it's decisions when it comes to your, like, the people you choose in love. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Yeah. So, like, your ego, like, because we all have egoic desires, so they say, right? So, I want the big, shiny, pretty ring. Do I need it? No. But I want it. And then, you get those little dopamine hits when you buy the thing. Then, you end up wanting a new one in a year. That kind of thing. So, that's just an example. But, it just feels like there's a need here to stop chasing the fireworks and chase the fireplace, if that makes sense. And accept what it is you really want. And again, like I said, if you are one of those people where it's like you want that freedom, you want that chaos, that's the place you're in right now, just be honest with yourself about that. And don't tear yourself apart thinking that you want something more chill and more like calm but stable. And that also doesn't mean not exciting. It just means it's like, a little bit more smooth, a little bit more like not too much to like not too much stimulation, if that makes sense. Maybe for some of you, truly, you want that stimulation, you need it more. But if that's the case, there's still a need to choose different stimulants for yourself, because the devil, it's pretty loud what it's trying to say there. The devil's never a good thing. It's never a healthy card to have. There's definitely a need to sort of, dive within when this card comes up. Address our own, what are we addicted to? It doesn't even have to be, substances or anything like that. Are we addicted to the thrill of something? Are we addicted to the drama of something, the tension of something? And there's a need to really be honest with ourselves about that. Because again, like I said, even for those of you where you're not necessarily looking for like the picket fence and like literally look at this girl's house. Like, she got chickens, she got the houses. She looks like she's on like a little farm here, and she's like looking for peace. She's at peace, looking for peace, one way or the other. And for some of you, that might not be, what you envision for yourself, even still. Okay, fine. Maybe you're the kind of person that, like, wants to be a little bit of a nomad and move around the world and, like, live in different places all at different times. That's fine. But the things that you're converting that desire and energy into are actually not honoring that, if that makes sense. Like, right now it's sort of like if the bad boy, you have some sort of tension with somebody, then he's sort of a bad boy. He's got a little bit of the F-boy energy, if you will. And you go round and round in circles with this person. And there's like a huge tension that builds up, and then you guys release it, and you have this makeup physical interaction. And then, things start repeating themselves, and you just end up like in a cycle with somebody who's not even good for you. Like, they might be exciting, but they're not healthy. And there are things and people out there that are exciting and healthy. It can happen, I promise. And there's a need to sort of really sit with yourself and decipher what that looks like for you. What do you want, really? Like, truly in your soul, what do you actually want? And is this aligning with that? Or is there sort of another path that's necessary to take that, it feels like this group could be sort of a group where there's a fear of like not committing, possibly, or a fear of being trapped, or like this fear of being bored even. And I feel like there's a need to understand that, like, there's a way to get all those stimulants without it being so extreme and so tumultuous and so draining, honestly. And yeah, I feel like there's just a need. I feel like you should sit down and like write down what it is you want in a person, in a partner, in your career, in yourself, in your fitness, whatever that is gonna be for you. Because there's all these categories of life within your family, friends, mental state. Write all those down. And are you in that space right now? And are you choosing things that are going to lift you to that space right now? All right, so I'm gonna do a yes or no question, pulling on the cards. You can ask your question right now. It could be about anything you want it to be. And then we'll see what your answer is. little deck. It's a little hard to shuffle, I can't lie. I think it's the one with the owl too. Hell yeah, listen to your intuition. Look at that. That really aligns with what I said. What is it you really desire? What is it you really want? What is it that really serves your highest good? Because your higher self is telling you right now that what you're doing is not doing that. It's not choosing what your soul really wants or what you really want. And there's a need to sort of confront that. All right? Pile 3, that's your reading. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!